It seems that every single day that I look at the crypto market, it's gotten a little bit crazier. And I think many of you guys agree that our industry is also changing very fast. I mean, tomorrow we've got ourselves the official launch of the Ethereum ETFs, and it's expected to get $5 to $10 billion worth of inflow, with some expecting some really positive results on the Ethereum price. I'm not sure if it was Bernstein or something else that put up a $6,600 price tag for ETH. All I want to say about it now is that even though prices are going down ever so slightly right now, / today, that I do believe in the very near term, we are still going to end up on a really positive note. So again, we just dropped from 68,000 back to 66.5 or so. But again, if you just zoom out ever so slightly, I do believe we are in for a massive leg upwards. Then again, there's been some danger. And I'd say that one of the dangerous pieces that's keeping us down ever so slightly has got to do with Mt. Gox. Obviously, recently we had Germany selling the Bitcoin bottom and also causing us to fall ever so slightly. But at the same time, it was the US government and Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox is a company and a crypto exchange that went down like 10 years ago, of which the repayments to people who held Bitcoin at the time have started. And just now they did another test transaction a few hours ago. Mt. Gox, a bankrupt crypto exchange, has initiated test transactions by transferring small amount of Bitcoin to Bitstamp, which is an exchange, one of the exchanges involved in facilitating creditor repayments. This move is part of the process to repay the creditors, as Mt. Gox currently holds approximately $6 billion in Bitcoin. But I personally see all of this as some really good stuff, because the moment that Mt. Gox is done sending this Bitcoin out, then people have got the chance to, from a certain perspective, them having the Bitcoin is a blessing and a curse also. So them sending it out is, again, both. The reason I'm saying that is because them having it means nothing is happening to it. But them having it also means that a massive dump may occur the moment that the actual holders of the Bitcoin get it. Because right now, the Bitcoin that they are holding, they're basically holding custody for people that lost their Bitcoin like 10 years back. And so at the point that they get it, the Bitcoin price is up 20x from where they lost it. A lot of them will sell for profit because, well, if you thought you'd lose your money forever and all of a sudden you get it back but times 20, a lot of people are then satisfied and will not look into that circle twice. I'm not sure how the best way to say that is. At the same time, though, I got to put something up. Right now, I do believe we are starting a super cycle for memes. Two things I've got to say. One is I'm investing in a lot more. And second is, ladies and gentlemen, if you are getting into meme coins, understand really carefully that many of them you'll lose money on. Some of you guys have not gotten it fully straight just quite yet. Memes are not the golden opportunity that all do well. If that was the case, then nobody would make a video about it because they'd already be bazillionaires day one, as there's tens of thousands of new meme coins every single day. The thing is, you spread your risk, and what I personally do is, sometimes I sit there, I buy 20 of them in a day. Sometimes I go ahead and buy 50 of them if I'm in a Discord call with some people. Sometimes you just go on a crazy spree. Some days I just buy 1 or 2, and some weeks I don't buy any at all. Recently, most of the ones I've been buying I've talked about, but again, I've also publicly said before how I've lost millions of dollars by being too slow in selling. It's finding the right balance, right? So sometimes I just want to quickly put it out there. You will get scammed, literally. That could either be because it never launches, it could either be because it launches and goes to 0 within 10 seconds, or it could be because it actually goes up for a little bit, but you're like, oh, it could do more, and then eventually the developer pulls out. Little fun story, because right now I think the meme cycle is getting better, partially because Ethereum is ramping up, and partially because Solana had a good little week here, making people realize if Solana goes for a super cycle and goes crazy, man, the memes will go crazy. Lark says, this dev apparently rugged his meme coin community just to get a height lengthening surgery. Can only happen in crypto. I'm not sure if it's even real, but it is kind of funny to just think of how the crypto space works. It's sometimes so stupid. I will say that one of the meme coins I've gotten into quite heavily because there's a good opportunity is with pepe. It makes sense though, it's quite logical. You need to, in my opinion, focus on some of the bigger narratives that have some good marketing skills. These guys have just gotten a partnership with 𝗕𝗏𝗏, who's one of my good friends in crypto and also one of the meme coin masters. But no, in all truth, I've seen many of the coins that I know via or that some of my friends I've worked with quite closely do exceedingly well. And just to put that into perspective, I told you guys before, right, how my biggest meme coin at the time was 𝗪𝗏. And right now, for example, the best gainer out of everything today is 𝗎. It's actually double in terms of price from the last time where I've talked about it. And I think it's actually triple from the second last time I talked about it, if you get my drift. Now, you might say, oh, but 𝗎 is already huge. Yes, and I did not get into 𝗎 very, very early. It's just because I noticed they had some crazy marketing plans going on. And I kind of see that with pepe, the way they're doing things now. Just, again, my personal thoughts. I am holding a significant amount, so call me biased, but I do believe it can still do well in the near future. The narrative's pretty simple. It's just a Chinese pepe. And there's definitely a good narrative for it, so it makes sense to me. Having said that, one thing I saw some XRP articles, and I all of a sudden saw this. Real Bedford FC Football Club, backed by 𝗕𝗏𝗏 Capital and led by Peter McCormick, acquires another $4.5 million in Bitcoin. Random, definitely random. A non-league football team purchasing Bitcoin is not something I expected to see on a Monday evening, or for me, it's already Tuesday, 1 a.m. or something. No, it's actually significantly later. Let's not talk about that. It is kind of memey that they bought 66.9 Bitcoin for 4.5 mil. But again, I don't understand exactly why. Why would a football... I guess that's what's right now happening, right? Where all of a sudden the narrative is shifting from, oh, people need to hold this to, oh, the company should have it as a reserve. I mean, specifically if you take a look at Larry Finks' recent comments where he said people... and I'm talking about company leads, are choosing Bitcoin to diverse, and Bitcoin means crypto in this sense. They're choosing it to diversify their traditional holdings, and they just want to kind of de-risk by buying this. It is, in my opinion, from that perspective, kind of funny how that really might be the next big wave of things, where a lot of companies are going to start buying Bitcoin just to kind of offset their cash or their other investment balances. On the opposite side, I'm thinking, well, yeah, if the company's main operations are, I guess, just their traditional operations and cash, they don't really have any other investments in any other realms, they just operate in one vertical, then it doesn't necessarily make too much sense. I guess the only thing there is to offset their dollars, for example, if they don't want to do it with any other foreign currency, or they want to, again, hedge against their own whole production line, which would be, for example, Apple betting against technology, taking a good step by... or I guess the stock market moving well, Apple included, technology taking a good step, or betting against their proper year, or betting against NVIDIA and the tech bubble as a whole by going for Bitcoin. I'm just saying something. I don't think so, though. Again, for some of the bigger companies, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, whereas the asset managers who are major owners in these massive companies, for them, again, it does make sense for their portfolios. But just on an Apple balance sheet, I don't expect to see it rather soon. Like Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, also said, people are not buying Apple stock for their diversification in Bitcoin or for Bitcoin exposure. Rather, people who also have Apple stock might actually go ahead and buy it, like Tim Cook himself, because they understand the proposal. And honestly, that's why this move to me is a little bit strange, because a football club... But again, I don't know how a football club usually operates. I'm not sure if their main idea is to have investments going to perhaps at some point buy better players. Anyway, I saw some speculation about XRP because the price is up like 5% or so today. There's nothing too crazy going on, though. The price is doing well, sure. It's back to 61 cents. We're doing okay. But I saw some really crazy hyped up articles. You know the funniest thing? Whenever an article like this pops up, it pops up so high on my search rankings. I have a website that tracks all the news because people are just so excited about it. But just know that the XRP price is not going up because Ripple transferred 90 million XRP. Right? That definitely did not happen. The transfer can, but not the price going up because of that. Doesn't make sense. And second of all, this, right, I keep seeing people talk about it in the comment section. XRP to replace SWIFT. All these things are cool, but we've seen this 1,000 different times. I think it's more important for XRP to cross that dollar mark, get some of the excitement back, because I noticed recently just how crazy the community went off of a very, very small move to 65 or so cents? Oh, no, not even. It was only 63 cents that it went to, and the excitement was massive. I'm just imagining how crazy the excitement is going to get the moment we shift. By the way, look at this. The price is actually up 10% or so in another 3 or 4 days here, which is actually pretty good. Anyway, I just wonder how crazy the excitement and the community is going to get the moment we get back above $1 and actually set this uptrend that all of a sudden has started, and we keep up with it. If we set this on, we keep going, because just as a reminder, earlier in July 8th, we were at 42 cents. And right now, a little bit later, towards the middle of July, end of July, we have pumped a whole lot, but relatively it's kind of nothing in comparison to where we should be at over the next few months. Especially right now if Ethereum does good, and well, always just keep this in the back of your head. If you had just invested $1,000 into whatever asset when either Charlie Munger called it disgusting or just in the past, and that's what I always like to say, it's always better to start right now than in the future. Most importantly, because if you start right now, you can actually buy your way down lower if things do get worse. And that means that over the next few months, because again, we believe that the bull run will still last another year or so, you have crazy gains. But it's not a guarantee. It's just very probable. Yeah, that's about it.